beautiful soul. My name is Mara, and I welcome you to today's Pick a Card reading. Today we are doing our monthly guidance, so this is going to be for October 2025. So I've got 3 different cards with 3 different crystals for you to choose from, and while I hold these up to the camera, I'll be playing a sound for those of you that like to choose your reading clairaudiently. So let's go ahead and jump into the reading selection. Alright, if you need more time, you can pause the video or go down to the description box and hit the reading selection timestamp. We're going to begin with reading number 1, but all 3 readings will be timestamped in the description box as well. So go ahead and find your timestamp, and I'll see you there. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and get into the month of October for you. We are going to break this into 3 parts as per usual. So love and romance, work and finances, and then spirituality and personal growth. But first, we're going to take a look at this alchemy card to see what the overarching energy of October is going to be like for you. So let's see. You've got coagulation. So this card is all about the formation of something. If you've been flowing, if you've been creating momentum around something, if you've been, putting in a lot of effort towards something, that thing, or maybe many things throughout October, are going to come into physical form. And this could be in the form of, you've had thoughts about stuff, you've had ideas, and so it's finally the culmination of those ideas. Or it could be that you've been manifesting something to fall into your lap and it really arrives. That's not to say that you haven't taken steps towards it, but but the whole theme of coagulation is something coming to form, something coming to be, and in a really solid and tangible way. So I definitely feel like throughout October, you're going to be experiencing a lot of manifestations and a lot of just a really solid, grounded energy. This is an earth dominant card as well. So I do love that there's this ball and it has like these little jewels inside of it, these little gold pearls. So I do feel like whatever you've been creating, it is something that has these little precious moments within it. And I just feel like there's an overall appreciation for everything that you have been creating and all of the work that it took to bring it all together. The only negative or shadow aspect to coagulation is that if you aren't being consciously aware in the process of creating, if you aren't, directing your energy wisely, if you aren't staying mindful in the process, then it can really end up with a form of something that you don't like, that you aren't really enjoying the full manifestation of. So if you are still feeling like you're in that flow state, make sure that you are focusing your energy in the direction that you really want, in the momentum that you want. And I feel like even if it's not that you have the full manifestation of something in October, that there is still this advice that you should be very mindful of what you're creating. So let's go ahead and get into our 3 categories. We're going to do love and romance first. So we have the Magician reversed, the Eight of Wands, and the King of Wands, with the Five of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so a little bit of drama, a little bit of chaotic energy. I kind of feel like the month of October is for you to kind of reevaluate what you want and need in a relationship. It almost feels like you're being asked to take more charge and be more decisive about how you want to feel and how you want your partner to treat you. If you're single, then I would say that you have some self-work to do in terms of, opening yourself up and being the kind of partner that you would want in a relationship. But regardless of if you're single or not, I do feel that there is this cycle that maybe you're kind of stuck in, and October is going to be a really good month for you to get out of it, for you to direct your energy wisely so that when the time comes for things to coagulate in your life, that you're happy with the results, that you're not feeling the weight of all of this chaotic energy here. I also feel like there might be a little bit of this discouraged energy with the Magician being reversed, that maybe you're feeling a little bit unprepared, or like you just don't have what you need in order to set goals. Maybe you're feeling a little bit emotionally overwhelmed. Maybe it's work. Maybe it's more of like a physical thing in your life. But I do feel there's a sense of overwhelmment that is getting in the way of you really standing your ground and taking charge. But that is where you're supposed to be. You are supposed to be standing in your dominance and saying, this is what I want. This is what I'm capable of. And this is what I'm worthy of, and just setting goals around that. So let's see a little bit more. Okay, we've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups with the Ten of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So, okay, I do feel that with that cycle ending, or the one that you feel like you're stuck in, there is this energy of a cycle ending. Maybe it's a relationship ending. Maybe it's just a phase within your relationship ending. Maybe it's a cycle that you personally are in. But I feel like whatever it has to do with, I do feel that you're supposed to take your time with it, that you're not supposed to rush through this. You're supposed to be very calm and grounded and thoughtful throughout the whole experience so that you can really get the most out of it. If you charge forward and just kind of distract yourself with all of the grass is going to be greener on the other side type energy, then I feel like you're going to miss out on some really important lessons or steps that really need to be taken for the sake of your personal growth. So yeah, it just kind of seems like for October within your romantic life that you're being asked to be more decisive, you're being asked to be more dominant, you're being asked to take your time and to really embrace the cycles that are ending, whether that is a relationship that you know is not healthy for you, or if it's just a simple mindset that you've been stuck in. Whatever it is, it needs to come to an end. And whatever you've been struggling with too, the Ten of Swords is a good indicator that the worst is over, that moving forward, you don't need to worry about all that pain that you felt within that cycle. But if you feel that you're stuck in this mindset of, I don't have enough, I am not worthy of creating, I don't know what to create, I'm always doomed to be in this cycle, then it can be really hard to recognize that the worst is over. So it's going to be important that you align your mindset with that belief. Trying to think, is there anything else that wants to come through? No, I think that that's pretty much it. Just don't distract yourself with all of the that mindset of the grass is greener on the other side. Make sure that you are tending to your current state of mind, that you're tending to what you've currently got going on. And that's, of course, not to say if you're in an abusive relationship that you should stay there because the grass isn't going to be greener on the other side. That's not what I'm saying. I hope that you would know that that's not at all what I'm hinting at. All right, let's go ahead and jump into your work and your finances. Okay, we have the Ten of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Knight of Cups with the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Wow. I actually really like this. I think that there's something within your career life that you are really putting action towards, and I do see a lot of emotional fulfillment. It's like you're finally starting to take some real steps towards your desires when it comes to your career or just your finances. Maybe you're budgeting a little bit wisely or more wisely, but I just feel like whatever it is, it feels like you have creative control. It feels like you are emotionally invested in this work and you're able to be the one that really decides, oh, this is what I want, and I know how to get to it. I know what steps I need to do or to take. I know what decisions I need to make in order to get the full extent of what I'm asking for. It's like you're very fully prepared. It's just a matter of you actually taking the action, which I do think that you will, especially with the Page of Wands being here. I just feel like maybe it might be a little bit daunting because it's just like the beginning stages. So that's what I'm saying, like with the ideas and the thoughts coming to like a full manifested state, I feel like there's a part of your career or a part of your desires when it comes to your finances that you've only thought about, and the month of October is going to be about exploring it. It's like you've grown into the next stage of development within your finances. Let's get a little bit more clarity. Okay. Three of Pentacles reversed kind of makes me feel like maybe you're bashful about what you need to learn. Okay. I think that it's only because you are perceiving what you need to do being this big ordeal, and that it needs to be a bunch of work, that it's going to take too long, that you might feel stupid, that you might fail along the way. There's some fears coming up there, and it definitely feels like just mental stuff that you need to give yourself time to work through. Just rest. Just give yourself time to meditate, to rest, to fill your cup back up. And obviously you are going to have to at some point push yourself out of your comfort zone, but you have what it takes to build, to learn, and to really understand what it is that you have created for yourself. So you might have all of these really beautiful ideas, and again, there's this moment of like, okay, now it's time to take real action towards it, but there's this fear that stops you of like, it's going to take too long, or I'm going to be stupid, I'm going to look stupid, I'm going to fail, I'm not going to know enough. Like, it's like imposter syndrome. And so I definitely feel like you have some stuff to work through when it comes to that, but it's okay to start taking action. It doesn't have to be this big moment where you take a leap of faith. And in fact, I would suggest against that, especially with the Chariot coming out. I feel like you are meant to take your time and really just let yourself digest where you're at right now, so that you can wisely decide, okay, what's my next logical step? I don't have to overwhelm myself with where I want to be in 3 years. I can just decide where I want to be today, where I want to be tomorrow, and take action according. Especially again with the Chariot being on the bottom of the deck, it's all about taking action from within. You have enough, and the universe definitely does back you up on what you want. You are being fully supported by the universe. It's just a matter of you really taking your time and not overwhelming yourself, because your mental health is just as important as the work that you're needing to do. Your emotions, the way that you feel about the work that you're doing, is so important. And if you don't feel emotionally connected to the work that you're doing and to the steps that you're taking, then I fear you might kind of burn out, or that you would just, get to a point where you feel like you're going through the motions. So push yourself, but take your time doing it. Take baby steps. Don't feel like you have to jump all the way in and move past some big blockages. It'll take time and consistency. Moving past some blockages in your mind can often look like revisiting the same fucking issue over and over and over again. And that is completely okay and completely human of you. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with your personal growth and your spirituality. Oh, goodness. These cards are a little difficult to shuffle. They're very glossy. I do love this deck, though. All right. So for your spirituality and your personal growth, get it together cards. Wow. Okay, so you have the Empress, the Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and on the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. So I definitely feel like October is a big month for you. This is, and especially with the Wheel of Fortune coming out in relation to coagulation, it's time. Like, you have some big stuff that you're realizing within, that you're accomplishing within your life. The wheel has turned, and whatever you have put in motion is going to solidify. Whatever you have really asked for from the universe, it is clicking into place, and it's going to be locked there for a while. The Empress coming out, I feel like this is definitely a month for you to invest in yourself. Be luxurious, spend money on yourself, wisely, of course. Take care of yourself, really invest in your self-care routine, invest in your body, invest in your mental health. Don't be afraid to listen to your intuition and really let it guide you along the path forward, along these next 31 days. I almost said 30, but I was like, no, there's Halloween, hello. And so I definitely feel like with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, that there's this need for you to feel more confident, that you might be feeling insecure about your physical health. Maybe it's your body. Maybe you're feeling insecure about your finances. There's some kind of like this really heavy or low energy that comes through when a queen is reversed. And I just feel like there's a sense of almost sadness that maybe you're not where you want to be. Maybe you're scared to take the next step. And I feel like within October, you're really pushing yourself to expand. You're pushing yourself to be this insecure, or to step outside of this insecure version of yourself into the Empress. So there are some things that I feel you are going to have to address, in especially with coagulation being your overall energy. I feel like the energy that you put into yourself, the way that you fill your own cup, is coming up for you to address it and for you to adjust it accordingly, because the needs that you have now may not be the same ones that you had, 5 years ago when you had to revamp your self-care, or however long it was. There's a routine that you got into that was beneficial, and now you're being asked to increase it or expand it in some way, just to adjust it in some way so that you can feel more in tune with yourself. And that way you can really trust your intuition and trust what's coming through. Okay, Four of Cups, the Moon, Strength is on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, this month is definitely a time for you to feel your feelings. There will be some things that come up in the process of things solidifying for you that, you may be surprised by. You may not be expecting them. And it's going to be really important that you do give yourself permission to feel your emotions and look at them. Don't be afraid to address the things that you haven't wanted to. It's like your shadow self is offering you this opportunity to feel something that you've been putting off or that you've been denying. And when you give yourself that space to look at it and look at it thoroughly, I feel like there's so much that you will discover within it. And there's so much that will be awakened within you that will definitely aid in that process of you feeling more confident and secure. And I just got chills on my right arm. So I feel like this is something that you have to take action towards. This is something that you have to really build. With Strength coming out, this does suggest that you are going to have to trust the process. There's parts of it that may not ever feel solid, that may not ever feel like they are clear. Maybe you're a little bit confused about what it is that you need to accept, or like how you could ever accept it. And you're not in a space where you need to worry about that stuff necessarily. When it comes, it'll be clear to you. When it comes, and when you give yourself permission to listen to your emotions and just feel things, it'll come to you. That clarity will be known. And having had that practice of trusting yourself and trusting your own path is something that will set you up for success. And it'll make it easier for you to feel things in the first place. So trust yourself. You are this beautiful, abundant, amazing, and luxurious being that deserves so many good things and so many wonderful experiences. So give yourself the space and time and attention to tend to yourself and your own inner world, because once you do, I do feel that you're going to feel so much more confident and trusting about yourself and the universe and the way that it brings things to you. So wow. Overall, I feel like October is definitely going to be a very transformative month for you. It's not one that you just get to like sit down and watch happen around you. You do have to take action. You do have to be an active participant in your life. But I really feel like there's so many good things that are coming together, and it's just a matter of you really appreciating it and appreciating yourself, most importantly, for it to really be a solid thing. Love it. So I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful, spectacular month in October. I wish you all the best. And if you found this reading to be helpful and insightful and you like the way that I read, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do post a weekly pick a card reading, and I always do a monthly pick a card as well. So thank you so much for being here. I love you all. I'll see you at the next one. Bye. Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and jump into the month of October for you. As per usual, we're going to break this into 3 categories: love and romance, work and finances, and then spirituality and personal growth. But first, we are going to take a look at this alchemy card because this is going to let us know what is the overarching energy throughout October for you. So you got silver. So I feel that throughout October, it's going to be a month for you to work on things, for you to build towards something. Silver can often represent what needs to be polished or taken care of in your life. I feel like there will be some things that you need to tend to. Your active participation in your life is going to be very, very important. I also feel like there are some things that are coming to light, some truths that maybe are coming out, especially as you put in that caring, loving, and tentative energy into your life. I feel that it's almost like when you're cleaning a mirror that's been a little bit dirty for a while. You start to see yourself a little bit more clearly. You start to see things a little bit more clearly. And even, when you're polishing a piece of silver, it's like you start to notice the things in your life that maybe either you just, accepted as they slowly became distorted, or you just kind of never realized that were there. So the month of October is going to be a very revealing month for you, but it's also a month that requires your active participation. It's a month that really asks you to step into a space of more action and a space of caring, loving affection. Care for yourself, care for your life. So let's start off with your love and romance. Okay, we'll start here. Not a lot of cards are coming out. So we have the King of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Okay, I feel like there's a need for more connection. Maybe you're starting a new relationship. There could be some new romance entering your life. Regardless of if it's a new romance or you just creating a better spark within your current one, I feel that there's also this need for you to really, for you to choose wisely and for you to not be too harsh on this new relationship or this new spark. I feel like there needs to be some flexibility when it comes to it. Otherwise, you might kind of squish it out or squander it. You might put the fire out. So don't let your outer critic, the person, or the version of yourself that criticizes others, be the dominating voice behind whatever is starting in your life, in your romantic life specifically. Be passionate. Let yourself be curious and explorative. I don't think that's a word. But let yourself explore. Let yourself reach into, spaces that maybe you've been afraid of or maybe you're too shy of. But I just feel that there's a lot for you to invest in, maybe sexually or just in your passion, in the way that you invest and physically take care of your connections. It's there for you for sure. But if you're being a perfectionist about it, if you're being too harsh about it, then I feel that it'll kind of fizzle out. Oh, I see. Okay. The reason why you might be a little bit of a critic is because you've been through it. And I think that you fear change. You fear things not going right. You fear the drama, the chaos. And I think that while that may not be the reality of your romantic life this month, I feel that you are valid for getting into that headspace because of what you've been through. You may have been dealt a really difficult set of cards, and moving forward, it'll be up to you to really invest in your mental health so that you can feel better in a romantic relationship. And that definitely falls into that silver trope where you're really taking care of yourself and working on yourself so that you can see the truth. And the truth may not look like what you've been through in the past. I do see a lot of chaotic energy, a lot of shifty, unstable energy, but it's coming from your fears. It's coming from a place of anxiety and, not fully being able to work through the mental aspect of what you had been through. So all of those emotions from what you experienced, they still exist. They never really went anywhere, but you haven't really fully given yourself permission to feel it. I thought something flipped around just now. I guess I was wrong. I just want to see a little bit more. Four of Cups, yes. I just wanted to confirm that that was actually what I was seeing. Yes, you do need to feel things. So throughout October, in order to have that beautiful, fun, sexual or passionate connection that I was seeing, you are going to have to feel some things that you've been putting off, or some things that have just been a little bit too painful to think about. In order for you to experience the good, you really do need to address what you've been through and not let it be the defining factor as to how you progress forward, especially with the Three of Cups being on the bottom of the deck. This is definitely a time for you to feel good. This is a time for you to feel excited and celebratory about the harvest and the connections that you're bringing into your life. There's no need to be afraid. There's no need to fear that things are going to crumble underneath you, that things are going to fall apart, and that you're going to be left with the chaos of it all. There's no need to question yourself and have that internal war of am I doing the right thing? Have I brought it into my life correctly? Did I push too hard? Do I need to fight more? I think that there's a certain level of resistance that does speak loudly right now for you. And until you feel what you need to in regards to what you went through, I feel it's going to be very difficult for you to get past that and not judge the situation that you're getting into or the things that you're creating for yourself. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and look at your work and your finances. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you've got the Eight of Pentacles reversed, the Empress, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and on the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords. So immediately when this card came out, I was like, oh, okay, so you've got a creative block going on. You've got a financial block going on. But the more that I look at this, yes, it does feel like a block, but it also feels like you've been through something that has really been the defining factor for how you believe you can attract money and what you are worthy of. I think that you have a lot of anxiety when it comes to your dreams, your desires, and the things that you want. Maybe you don't feel like you are worthy of having all of these luxuries. Maybe you don't feel that you are worthy of really being in this position of abundance and prosperity, but you are. And so I do feel that that block that's there is really just a mental one. And that's definitely not to, shrink the fact that you've been through probably some pretty shitty situations when it comes to finances and your work life. But it is to point to the fact that you can work yourself out of it, that you can practice a new mindset, and that you can start to feel more confident in terms of your creative desires. Because I think that whatever the finances that you're dreaming of, the things that you really want for yourself and that freedom, it's gonna come from you creating it, not from you just stumbling into it, or you winning the lottery, although that would be really wonderful and nice. It's something that you are supposed to put active work into. Again, with that silver, you kind of tending to the things in your life, you're being an active participant. And so it might overwhelm you right now how much work you need to do. But it is something that you can do. You have what it takes. And I feel like there's almost this fear that you're just going to repeat the same issue, that you're going to fall into that same kind of trap or cycle within your money. If you take a risk, or if you start to put more effort into it, are you just going to end up in a position where you don't feel good anymore? And then it's like, well, why did I even try in the first place? And I don't think that that's the case. I feel like you just need to work through the cycle that you're in, and let yourself feel worthy. If you don't address how you feel worthy and how you accept money into your life, then yeah, sure, you might repeat the cycle. But having this information here for you, you now know what steps to take. And with that knowledge, I don't feel that you would repeat things. Yeah. Okay, so you have the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Cups, with the Magician being on the bottom of the deck. He's reversed. So again, there is that fear that you don't have what it takes to create, or maybe you don't feel worthy of creating. And so there's a lot of self-sabotage going on. There's a lot of I'm insecure, and so I'm going to act insecure. I'm insecure, I don't feel confident, and so I'm not going to take action. Or I'm going to sabotage it before it gets into the nitty gritty where I really have to put in work. Which is understandable. Again, I think that you've been through valid experiences, but what you've been through in your past is not indicative of what you're going to experience moving forward. And yes, it can be hard. We're creatures of habit, and so we want to recognize patterns in life, and that can be of you can assist in your downfall, or it can assist in you growing and expanding. But you have to be the one that chooses what direction that you head in. And I'm seeing that it really is about your mental health, and the way that you feel mentally, for you to decide, this is what I want, this is how I'm going to get it, this is why I feel worthy of it, this is my why, and so on and so forth. You have to be dominant. You have to be fierce and protective over the finances that you want, and you have to be willing to put in that work. I also see that you have to be willing to be emotionally connected and excited to the path that you're moving on. So if you are stuck feeling like, woe is me, I'm a victim, I don't know how to create, I don't know what this is, I don't know what steps to take, then you're going to have a hard time feeling emotionally connected, even if you start to push forward. So it's going to be very important that you do address your mental health as you persist on increasing your finances and maybe even, starting a new career path or fixing the current career path that you have. There's a need for you to really address your emotions. Your emotions and your mental health will come first. And as you tend to those things, you'll start to see the truth. You'll start to see that, you are worthy of creating, that you are this abundant, beautiful creature. You are the Empress. And it's just a matter of you taking the steps to nurture that, and to honor that part of yourself for you to really live it. All right. So let's close your reading out with your spirituality and your personal growth. High Priestess. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. Now we have the Magician upright. Okay, Four of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful energy. You are going to be so successful this month. I feel that overall, your growth, the way that you are nurturing yourself, is the thing that you need to focus on the most. Excuse me. You need to be polishing what you've got going on currently, and you need to feel your way to that level of abundance that you are seeking, not just in regards to monetary gain, but the level of abundance in your emotional world, in your intuitive world, the things that you really want for yourself, your dreams and your desires. The nurturement of those things is what's going to make them a reality. There's so much harmony coming into your life. There's so much abundance and this giving energy that comes with the Four of Wands. It's like you are ready to let your hair down and just celebrate and just feel good about what it is that you're investing in. Again, with the High Priestess, this is another indicator that things are going to come to light, that you are unveiling some secrets in your life, that you're unveiling the truth. And I feel like that really comes in regards to you in your personal world, your personal growth and your spirituality. The fact that it's coming out here, it's really indicative of you just having to invest in yourself for the truth to come out, for you to realize, oh, I am a badass. Oh, I am worthy. I am somebody who can take this little seed that the universe is giving me and I can grow it. I have what it takes to create. I have the tools that I need and the elements are on my side. So I feel like the month of October is about you stepping into a place of power, and it doesn't have to be this big, like, Hulk moment where you push forward and it's intense. It can be if that's what feels right for you, but I feel like it's more so about you really taking care of yourself and your mental health to get to a place where you want things to grow, where you want things to feel creative and flowing, like you can invest in them. Okay, we will just take the Seven of Cups. We've got the Hanged Man on the bottom of the deck too. So I do feel that the month of October, you've got a lot of options. You've got a lot of paths that you can go down, and there's a lot of things that you can bring to light and that you can kind of, shine a light on and say, that's what I want to focus on. And don't let yourself get too overwhelmed. It's okay if you want to focus on all of the things at once. Just take little steps towards it all. Again, you have the ability to do that. You have what you need to create what you want to create, where you want to create it. But the only thing that I would say is that you need to be thinking about your long-term stability. There will be some things that arise, especially as you notice, like, oh, wow, I have all of these different things. You might start to feel a little bit stuck, or a little bit like, okay, the bigness of everything is too much. And I don't know if I have what it takes to create. I don't know if I have what is necessary to get the things that I want. There may be this feeling where you have to really judge yourself in the process of it, and it's not necessary. I do think that the process of unveiling that and really looking at that as you may experience it, that is necessary. But the actual experience of doubting yourself and limiting yourself in the midst of you having all these beautiful opportunities isn't necessary. So there's definitely a message here that suggests that you need to focus on long-term success and long-term stability. If you feel a fear coming up that says, I'm not worthy, address it in the moment and look at where did it come up? Were you addressing one specific area of your life, or were you looking at the grand scheme of it? And what belief systems can you break that down into further and then further? And it's almost like shadow work. It's almost like getting to the nitty-gritty, the root of the actual issue. Love it. October is going to be a very nourishing and transformative month for you. I do feel that there's going to be a lot for you to take care of. So just let yourself do the work. Let yourself tend to your inner world and take care of yourself. You are the most important person in your life. And if you don't take care of you, then, you don't have a whole lot going for you. So just really take care of yourself and tend to your own world. So if you found this reading to be helpful and insightful and you like the way that I read, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do post a weekly pick a card reading as well as a monthly pick a card reading. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have the most wonderful, beautiful, uplifting, and encouraging month in October, and I will see you at the next reading. Must be. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and see what October is going to be like for you. We are going to break your reading into 3 parts. So love and romance, work and finances, and then spirituality and personal growth. But before we do that, we're going to take a look at this alchemy card, because this is going to let us know what the overarching energy of October is going to be like for you. So you got autumn. I love that. An autumn card for an autumn season. So I do feel that you're definitely seeing the results. You're going to be seeing some kind of harvest coming into your life. The fruits for you to eat, the manifestations for you to enjoy are here. And it's just a matter of you taking them and really allowing yourself to eat the fruits, to experience the manifestation, for it to actually, be there tangibly in your life. There's also a sense of generosity with this card. You obviously have more than enough to go around, and getting to this point where you have this fully formed manifestation, it wasn't just a you thing. Obviously, you were the one that had to put the idea into action and the desire into action and then nurtured it into being. But we're co-creative beings, and unless you just live on a mountain, by yourself and you never see anybody else, it has been a co-creative experience. And so there's something for you to, acknowledge: where have I been assisted? How have I been assisted? And who can I give back to? The fruits of my labor are also somewhat the fruits of their labor. And for you to share in your abundance, for you to share in your manifestation is something that will be very powerful. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, here's $1 million. I just won like $4 million. You can share as much or as little as you feel is needed, but that energy of generosity is something that will definitely assist you throughout the month of October. So this is exciting stuff. I feel like you're definitely receiving the harvest. You're receiving good things into your life. So let's start your reading with looking at your love and romance. There we go. Ace of Swords had to come out first. All right. We've got the Ace of Swords, the Six of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and on the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles. I love this. I definitely feel like you are entering a new relationship. If you are in a long-term relationship and you're like, girl, what the hell are you talking about? I'm not, it's not happening for me. That's okay. It would probably indicate that you are nurturing your connection to be much more deeper and much more beneficial for the both of you. I do see a lot of healing going on. It's like you're finding somebody that makes you feel like home. You're nurturing your home life. You're nurturing this connection that feels very pure and innocent and just all over really sweet. I do feel like it's a connection that you have to choose. This kind of nurturement isn't just going to fall into your lap. It's something that you have to work towards. You have to choose it. And if you don't choose it, then I feel that it may kind of fill your life with a sense of chaos, or just not fully being connected to, what you've got going on. I do think that you're creating new movement in your connections. So if this is a new connection that you're getting to know, like you're talking to this person or you're starting to get to know them, or if you're in a long-term relationship and this is a connection that you're just kind of navigating in a new healthy way, it's going to be important for you guys to be very honest about what it is that you want out of the relationship. You might have 8 different, goals, and for you to be moving in the same direction is likely going to be very important. It's going to be something that really defines the success of the connection. And I do think that you are not meant to budge necessarily in what you want. I feel that there may, obviously compromise is a part of relationships, and you do need to allow for some sense of allowance. But with that being said, I do think that you're meant to stand in your power and really just honor what it is that you need and want, because honestly, you slay. You're a badass. And you're worthy of being met on that level. And so if whoever you're talking to, whoever you're communicating with, whoever you're choosing, if they aren't necessarily matching you and honoring how wonderful and amazing and beautiful you are, then there needs to be some reevaluation there. Let's see what else is coming through. Justice. My throat is a little weird today, so sorry if I'm clearing my throat and being annoying. Okay. We've got Justice and Judgment coming out. Wow. With the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So this does feel like something that you need to take your time with. It does feel like something that, while it is a very fast-paced moving thing, it's very like intense and in the moment. I do think that you're meant to nurture it slowly and surely. I feel like some things are coming into balance, that there's this feeling of you being reawakened and maybe the connection being reawakened. For some of you, now this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. Maybe this is about an ex coming back. Maybe this is about somebody that you used to know, that it's time to have that reconciliation, that nurturing energy. But I do feel that there, either way, however this is manifesting for you, if it's an ex, if it's a new person, or if it's a long-term connection that you've been in for a while, this is a time for you to speak what you want, for you to take necessary action towards balancing out the connection, and for you to feel a sense of reawakenness, for you to embrace this rebirth moment where you both really get the most out of the connection. Very powerful energy here in terms of like things balancing out. I feel like you have both the human side as well as the spirit side, so the cosmos as well as the earthly circumstances in your favor in terms of you getting what you want. Again, there's this harvest energy of like you getting the fruit that you really want. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into your finances and your work. Okay, my cards, they're so slippery. Nice. Okay. We have the Nine of Cups, the Chariot, the High Priestess, and the Eight of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So overall, I do think that there is a decision that you need to make in terms of walking away from maybe a job that you've been stuck in, or maybe it's some kind of project that you've been working on. There's something that you need to walk away from, but it is something that you have put a lot of time and energy into. So it is an emotional decision. And I feel that there also is this sense of like you feel like you've been going through the motions with it. So even though you put all of this time and energy into it, and it might be this bittersweet moment of saying goodbye, there is a sense of relief there. There is definitely a feeling of finally, like I finally get to focus on something else and something that is going to be much more beneficial to me. I may need to feel some sadness first before I get to that full moment of excitement, but it's like you're no longer investing in the things that you've already put so much energy into, and it's ultimately hasn't been beneficial for you. So you have the Nine of Cups coming out, and I do feel, especially with her being in this like this work attire, it kind of feels like she's celebrating in her office, and she's like, look at all of these riches that I have all of this really beautiful stuff, I'm dressed luxuriously, I have somebody around my finger. It's like you get everything that you want. Excuse me. You get all the things that you want in terms of your career once you make that decision to walk away. So just know that you are going to be thriving, that the month of October is an opportunity for you to exit and for you to reap the benefits of that exiting, of you to finally get the full manifestation of you making that hard decision. With the Chariot coming out, I do see that you're being asked to be very still and grounded within how you're approaching your finances. I think that maybe there's this feeling that you need to rush through things to get to this exciting moment, that maybe you don't want to take your time with this, but that won't end very well. I think it might be very difficult for you if you do kind of rush through things. So take your time, allow yourself to really experience everything that is a part of this. Allow yourself to be uplifted and to really experience this journey to the fullest. And with that, I think that in this process of you allowing more finances to come to you, or allowing a better path to finances to come to you, you're going to be realizing some things about yourself and the way that you approach life that maybe you haven't in the past. And so your internal knowledge, your sacred knowledge that you have is very, very important. It's something that really changes the way that you approach things. And I think that whatever you've invested in right now that you're choosing to walk away from, or maybe you've already made that decision to walk away, whatever it is, it hasn't given you the tools necessary or the space necessary to learn about yourself and your own internal world, to learn about your desires and the things that you really want. Okay, you have the Hanged Man, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Definitely feeling like there is some scarcity around, moving forward, letting go, that Eight of Cups moment. But whatever you're letting go of, it is time. It's time for you to move forward and for you to invest in something else. I just feel like it may kind of start as a seed. It's almost like you've gotten the full manifestation of something and it has served you all that it can, and you're being asked to now plant a new seed to grow a new harvest. The thing about the Hanged Man sometimes is that there is a purpose to hanging there. There's a reason why you're stuck there. It's not just that you ended up there randomly. There's a reason. And so the reason may be that you need to fully let yourself experience all of the fruits of your labor before you can confidently move on to this next opportunity. But regardless, I would say that there is a career change, that there is this new opportunity within your finances that will be introduced to you in October. And for you to invest in this new path, you are going to have to acknowledge how far you've come within your current path. All right. So let's go ahead and close your reading out with your spirituality and personal growth. Ooh, wow. Okay. So you've got the King of Pentacles, the Star, the Moon, and on the bottom of the deck is the Hierophant. Very, very big energy. October is all about nurturing you. It's about growing what you want to grow and feeling like you can take care of yourself. I do see a lot of hope entering your life with the Star. It's like you finally have the tools to really feel, or rather the emotional mindset, to feel that you have a reason to be hopeful, that there is work for you to invest in, that it's not going to feel like you're going through the motions anymore. October is also going to be a month for you to acknowledge the unknown and the darker parts of yourself, the instinctual, intuitive parts of yourself. So some shadow work may do you very well, especially in opening up to the hope that is there for you. Sorry, I had like two intuitive messages coming through at the same time. But I do feel that also in the process of you doing that unveiling work and really honoring your instincts and your intuition, that kind of links back into both of the other categories in your life where you're making this decision to choose wisely and maybe walk away from the things that haven't served you. And I do think that this is definitely a month where, in terms of like your personal growth, that you're going to feel like a badass. You're going to feel like you are in charge. This is a time for you to, not sit back and let other people decide what it is that's best for you, or how to feel hopeful, why to feel hopeful, what the heck the path is for you, what your destiny is. It's time for you to take charge in that. It's time for you to say, I am grounded in myself, I am confident in myself, and I have what it takes to nurture myself into the next stage of my life, especially with the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. It's like you are leaning into new traditions, new patterns, and you're giving yourself permission to improve upon the already existing ones. Maybe there's some fruits left on this tree that haven't quite ripened yet. So I just feel that overall, you're really going to be growing a lot. And in terms of like you feeling more hopeful and excited about the unknown, you feeling more connected to your own internal world and feeling like you can rely on your instincts to get to where you want to be. Seven of Wands. And Justice. With the Fool on the bottom of the deck, there's this feeling of like, once you get to this place of security and just feeling taken care of by yourself, you might feel like, okay, now I have this energy and I have to fight to keep it. I have to like fight for what I want. I have to, exert my energy and force my way through. And that's really just not the case. And I think that you will definitely discover that as you introduce yourself to this healing space and really what it means to listen to your instincts in a situation. You have some balance that needs to come about throughout October. It's going to be a good month for you to lay down your sword and not feel like you have to fight. And with that being said, I do think that there are parts of your life that you are going to have to put more effort into, that you are going to have to say, okay, if I want this, this and this and this is what I have to do to get it. These are the steps that I realistically have to take into account with my desire. It's not, the universe rarely ever just hands you something. You have to work for it. And having that knowledge, if you're in a negative headspace, can feel like you do have to fight blood, sweat, and tears to get what you want. But if you are in a more allowing space and you're more hopeful about your life, then it'll feel like, okay, these are just the necessary steps that I have to take. These are the necessary things that I have to do in order to have that harvest that I'm seeking. There is a little bit of a leap of faith moment. There is a little bit of this courageous, like forward momentum that I do see with the Fool. But I do love that you have justice in combination to that, because I think that you're taking action from a very balanced space. You're taking action from this space of inner wisdom and inner knowledge, and you're not going to let anybody push you around. Again, you are the badass. You are the CEO of your life, and you are allowed to take charge in that regard. I do feel that you are kind of a master at taking care of yourself, and it's just a matter of you accepting that you're a master. Maybe you don't feel that way yet, but I promise, if you keep doing the emotional work and the shadow work that's necessary, that you will. Absolutely. I think October is going to be amazing for you. You've got a lot of beautiful harvests to take into your life and for you to have fun with. Another thing that I want to mention real quick with this autumn card is that you are going to be seeing some pretty significant changes in your life. This is the time where you do have to let go of things in order to receive more. So there will definitely be opportunities within your life to release things, to create space. You can't have all of these fruits on your tree if you want to create more, if you want to invest in more. You can't have all those leaves filling up your tree for winter. So I wish you all the best. I think that October is going to be amazing. And if you did find this reading to be helpful and insightful, and you like the way that I read tarot, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do post a weekly pick a card reading as well as a monthly guidance reading. So thank you so much for watching. I love you. You're going to do amazing. Blessed be.